Welcome to Kids Camp and Critters in God's Creation. I just love all the animals and critters that God designed. You guys like animals too? Yes. Absolutely, of course. They're like gifts from God. How many of you have pets at home? Look at all those hands with these. You know, if you have a pet at home, that is also a special thing because God wants you to love that animal and take care of it. He trusts him or her in your care. You know, when I was in school, I was learning about some really cool animals from textbooks and pictures that I wanted to see one day, but I couldn't travel the whole world. Well, one animal looked really cool and had a crest over its eyes and was cute. And underneath, under the picture, it looked sad. It said extinct. Do you know what extinct means? Not here anymore. All gone. No more left on the planet. And I thought, man, I'll never get to see one of those. But would you believe in 1994, not too long ago now, there was a man by the name of Robert Seep who said, I'm not certain that these really are extinct. And he went in search of an animal known as the Crested Gecko. Funny looking creature with big eyes and sticky feet. And he said, I'm going to look for them. They were last seen and described by a sailor in the islands off the coast of Australia. And he went down there to an island called Piney Island. And he looked, and everyone said, you're not going to find it. It's extinct. But he didn't listen. He insisted there might be some left. And sure enough, weeks and weeks into his journey, he found one. And then one more. And then there was some more, and he brought them back to America, and he helped populate more and more of these until today. We're going to show you one. The Crested Gecko is the second most traded and appreciated animal in the lizard world in the pet stores today. You can actually get one, and he's kind of cute. I said he, boys and girls. Yeah, it's a her. Her name is Banana. We're going to put her here on the rock so you can get a full good look at her for a minute. And it looks like an alligator, you said? Who said that? A baby alligator. He kind of does. She kind of does. So she will actually, she's cold-blooded. And so she's whatever temperature the air is. What does she have to do to get warm? Do you know? She has to sit in the sunlight. That means she'll climb up on a rock, and if one foot in the rock is hot, and one foot gets hot like when you walk barefoot on a pavement, she'll lift that foot up and cool it off, and then put it back down, and then lift the other foot up. And she will get too hot, and then she'll crawl back under the rock and hide a little bit in the shade to keep cool. When you get cold, you can move around, you can do things because your body makes heat. But Banana is her name because someone thought she looked a little yellow like a banana. What do you think? So I'll let you pet her on the back. We don't pet animals on the head, but if you're uncomfortable with an animal, you don't have to pet it, and if you don't want me to bring it too close to you, just fold your arms across your chest, and that'll tell me, hey, leave that thing away from me, would you? Right, but if you look at her straight on, can you see her pretty eyelashes? Yeah. So we're going to see what one of you think of what she feels like right here. What's your name, Noah? Can you tell me what she feels like?
She feels really soft, and she feels kind of like furry.
Almost like warm fur, right? Because she's been sitting in the warm light. That's good. So even though she's cold-blooded, God gave her abilities to keep warm and a way to keep warm. Do you think she can keep climbing my arm even if it's straight up? Well, that's true. She can. And the reason she can is because Jesus gave crested geckos really cool feet. And they're designed to walk straight up even glass surfaces or even upside down. And the way they do that is with little layers called setae. Now let's see. We're going to ask Another question here, and see if you can feel a foot. You want to feel one of her sticky feet? Let's see if she'll stick her hand on your hand. And you can like give her a high five here. Does it feel sticky?
Yeah.
Did you know there's no sticky on it? Those are just tiny little projections called setae, and what they're doing is they're actually molecular interacting with your skin when you touch them, or the surface of the glass, or whatever she's climbing. She has great big beautiful eyes, doesn't she? Yeah, and by the way, if you look straight on her cute little face, you realize she can't blink. If you move near her hand or head, she can't blink, and the reason is because she has to allow as much light in as possible, and it's got a covering over her eyes that protects it from the sun. How do you think she cleans those eyes if she can't blink?
With her tongue.
With her tongue! That's right! She sticks her big long tongue out and does a windshield wiper move right across those eyes. Now, boys and girls, do you think you can clean your eyeballs with your tongue? Yeah. All right, let's give it a try. Oh, you can almost get to the nose. That's a close one there, but not all the way up around the eyes, right? Well, the crested gecko has some real neat abilities, not just in sticking to surfaces, but the crested gecko can actually pull a trick and do a stunt. Do you know what trick she can do? Let's say there's a hawk or a crow that comes in and wants to take a bite of her. Well, the crested gecko can say, well, if you're so hungry to come after me and bite me, I'll tell you what, I want to live and you want a snack. Let's make a deal. And she'll drop her tail and leave it as a snack for the bird to have for free, and she gets away with her life. And Jesus made that a trick. Now, to tell you the truth, that's only a trick she can pull off once, because she can't grow her tail back. Some lizards can grow them back. You already knew some lizards could lose their tails. So most crested geckos in the wild, they don't have a tail. But the ones that do have another trick they can do with their tail. They're just full of tricks. What's your name, Jude? Jude, let's see if we can show you another trick with the tail, shall we? Put your finger out like that. And we're going to see if that tail will wrap right around the finger and hold on. And the fact is that she can actually hold on to things with her tail. And that's called prehensile, like a monkey. And she can cling to branches when she needs to hang upside down like a bat, and she'll actually grip it. Can you feel the grip? What's it feel like?
Feels like gripping.
A little gripping finger? Maybe a baby's finger, right? You ever touch a baby's finger and let it grip your hand? Oh, she's not letting go of you, Jude. She likes you. Yes, Docker?
I know that some geckos can whip their tail.
Right. There are some bigger geckos that can use their tail like a weapon. And so think of all the things Jesus did for the gecko to keep it safe. Isn't that cool? If God will do all those things to keep Miss Banana here safe, think what God will do to keep you safe. You know what the most common words repeated in the Bible are? What do you think God says over and over besides I love you? What does he say? 2 words. Fear not. He doesn't want you to be afraid. Do you remember when his disciples were afraid in the boat? Jesus was sleeping because he wasn't afraid. He can sleep in a storm in the middle of a big lake. The beautiful girl here, Banana, has big eyelashes that make her look like a girl, doesn't it? And those big eyelashes do another job. They keep the sand out of her eyes, and they can help protect her by dissipating some heat right off the ends there. And so she has those rows of little spines all the way down her back. Are you slipping there, girl? Do you want to go back on your rock? She says, I liked my rock. Your arm is slippery there, Mr. Keith. And so she's another critter that comes all the way from Camp Kalakwa, this particular one, where a lot of kids get to meet God and creation and nature there. And so this little girl reminds me of something else. The way that God gave her the ability to fight off enemies like an attacking crow, or avoid maybe the ants, which is another enemy of the crested gecko, by shedding their whole skin right off and leaving the ants on the skin and going their way. Well, Jesus said there's another trouble spot coming, and it's not a crow, and he told Noah there's trouble coming in the form of a big flood. And he told Noah, build an ark, build a boat, just so. And he told him how long to build it and how high to build it. And do you think that ark did the job? Of course it did. Just like the designs of the crested gecko keep her safe, the ark kept everyone and all the animals inside safe. And the animals didn't just go in there 2 by 2, some went in 7 by 7. And they had a lot of animals to take care of in there. You talk about critters. Noah had his hands full. And when he was done, he even had tons of animals to let out the door to enjoy the new grass that was growing after the flood and the sunlight. The sunlight that put a rainbow in the sky and tells us today when we see a rainbow, hey, that's God saying, I love you, and I will never again destroy the earth with a big flood. And by the way, he has a lot of promises for you. He promises to take care of you, not only in the storms and in trouble, but in the sunshine and the good days, like the sunshine that the gecko can come up on the rock and warm herself on. And he has a plan for you to keep you safe. In stormy weather, you don't have to be afraid. He gave you a special weapon. You can do a trick. Oh, you might not have a tail like Banana has. You have something better. What can you do when you're afraid? You can read the Bible. That's right, Caleb. Yes, Nolan. I like that answer too. Did you hear him? He said you can pray. And that's a neat ability that God gave you to help you not be afraid. Yes, Noah. You can ask God to help you, which means He can do anything, and nothing is impossible for God. If He can make a big lizard that can be able to stick on glass and climb straight up, He can make a way for you to go straight up to heaven with Him. And that's what He wants to see, is each one of you in His earth made new. Imagine the cool kind of lizards and critters that will be crawling around your yard in heaven. Maybe up your backyard tree. Maybe even right on your heavenly window, peering at you and looking at you. Won't that be fun? You know, if critters teach us anything, they teach us about the love of God. And God loves you, and He has a special place for you in His heart and in His home. He said, I go to prepare a place for you. And if I come again, then I will bring you also to that place. And you know He promises to come and get you, doesn't He? And He's never broken a promise. He will come. And the beautiful thing is He has plenty of homes. He has one for everybody. Room for you and you and you. And all you have to do is ask and believe in Jesus and say, Jesus, I'm yours today. Thanks for coming by our way today.